You know, every leader has to deal with the issue of how do I have a constructive, confrontive conversation that changes things and solves problems. It's not one of the fun parts of being a leader, but it's one of the necessary parts. How do I sit down with someone and solve something that needs to be faced and talked about? You know, I was working with a leader, and he had one of those people, one of his managers, who was a real excuse sort of person. Every time he didn't get a report in on time, every time he was late to something, it was always someone else, and we call that rabbit trails. He was always taking his boss down rabbit trails, like, well, you're not resourcing me enough, that's why I'm late, or you're not as supportive, or I had bad traffic, or the dog ate my homework, all the kind of things people make up to kind of excuse their behavior. And this person, this executive, was kind of getting sucked into it. He was like following the rabbit trails and never having anything constructive happen. So what I told him was, I'm going to give you 6 magic words. And the 6 magic words are going to keep you directing this conversation, getting what you need so that he's working better and you're working better. And he said, how does this go? And I said, well, let's go into the process. And we basically kind of role-play what's supposed to happen, because role-playing kind of gets you in the moment, and you've got the experience and the emotions, and you kind of see what's going on. He was the person that he wanted to manage, and I became him. And so I said, you know, why aren't you getting your reports in? We've got a problem. He said, well, you're not resourcing me. You're not supportive. The dog ate my homework. And I said, you know, those are probably good points, and I want to talk about them at some level, but I need to get back to. In other words, I'm the traffic cop. I've got to direct the flow of conversation. That's what leaders do. Leaders lead. I'm going to lead this conversation back to why I started this meeting, back to the agenda, back to this purpose. And that's not a mean thing to do. In fact, it helps him, it helps you, because all of a sudden there's a structure and there's an order to the conversation, and then problems get solved. Never forget the 6 magic words, and you'll have constructive, confrontive conversations.